What up, y'all? So this podcast, I want to mostly talk about entrepreneurship, and some people like to believe that entrepreneurship is for everybody, but that's like believing Kanye West and Taylor Swift is for everybody, or Eminem is for everybody, and it's like I'm not sure. I'm not so convinced that any one thing is for everybody. You know, like there's things that definitely could be for people, but a lot of things are determined by how they think, how they view the world. You know what I mean? Like if you're a business owner, or if you're a marketer, or if you're an affiliate marketer, all whatever that stuff, whatever the thing is that you do, there's always going to be people that think what you do is a scam, and they get mad as soon as you even tell them that you're a network marketer, because they assume that you're selling people pipe dreams, right? Or get rich quick schemes, or you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. What's up, Yvette? I hope I said your name correctly. And so some people, they just can't be convinced. Some people have a fixed mindset. Like even if your belief system is correct, and their life would be a lot better if they believe the things that you believe, for as long as they think that you're lying, guess what? Your words come out of your mouth is a lie according to their subjective point of view. You know what I'm saying? And so for me personally, like I really believe someone's intelligent when they could step outside of their view and hold multiple views at the same time, even though they're contradictory. Like like not believe in everything at once, but what I'm saying is at least having the empathy to understand other people's points of views, and understand that where somebody's coming from and where they get their logic from, and why something makes sense to them. Like you see, the reason when it comes to entrepreneurship that everything is a scam to certain people, it's probably fear. And maybe when they see people making $5,000 a week from their smartphone, maybe they want that to be real for themselves, but they're scared. Like, because with entrepreneurship come taking risks, financial risks. You might lose a lot of money, you might lose all that you have. It depends on how you invest and what you invest in. There's so many people that lost all their money in Bitcoin, because like they was trying to get rich as quickly as possible, and Bitcoin was the next trending topic. So there was like everyone hopped on. That was a new wave. Everyone hopped on it, So, and that's the thing about waves. Waves come and go, and then you gotta get on your surfboard and paddle and hop on the next wave. But you might be paddling for a long time until the next wave decides to come. So so it's always, personally, I really believe it's best to invest whatever your talents are. I believe everybody has a special gift or a talent or something that they're good at, or something that they can monetize. I mean, for God's sake, like there's 14-year-olds selling slime on Instagram, retiring their whole family because they sell slime on Instagram, and they have a huge following on YouTube. There's this kid that's like 9 years old or something like that. He makes like $40 million a year. All he does is play with toys on YouTube. Like, who would have thought playing with toys could be a career? There's so much ridiculous shit that's a career that you wouldn't believe was a career if I told you it was. Like, when you get a chance, go look up ASMR videos. Like, people actually get paid to whisper politely into a microphone and spray a spray bottle, or tap on a piece of glass with their fingernails, or all types of weird stuff that exists that people are monetizing. Like, if you heard about the jobs that are out there it's not like conventional jobs, you'd be like, why is this person getting paid for this? It's because, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes what you don't perceive as value is so valuable to somebody else, and vice versa. For example, I'll give you examples in terms of, like, I talk about relationships a lot. I used to really feel bad because I felt like I was providing somebody a lot of value. I was like, I care about them. I always check up on them. And then I would be like, why am I not receiving the same thing in return? So I posted a quote earlier where it was like, the most powerful thing, like, kindness is powerful, giving is powerful, but the most powerful thing is not expecting anything in return. And, so that's why I was always upset when it came to like relationships and stuff, because I was always weighing here's what I'm doing for the person, and here's what I'm not receiving in return. And that was the root cause of my frustration, was me comparing what I'm giving in comparison to what I'm receiving back, and feeling like it doesn't balance out, or I deserve more gratitude, or I deserve more appreciation. And it's like, I realize, there's things that I know now that if I ever decide to start a business, it's going to help me tremendously. Like, you as a customer, if you were buying from me, I don't get to decide that, I don't get to decide for you what's valuable. You as a consumer, if I make music, I don't get to decide for you that my music is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people peddling their mixtape in people's inboxes, and you'll message somebody and be like, yo, download my mixtape, is good. It's like, good according to who, dude? According to your subjective point of view? Like, how do you know that it's good to me? You don't even know what I like. How do you know I even like rap? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm a Taylor Swift fan, or you know what I'm saying, or something else, or So I don't know, like, it's one thing, there's nothing wrong with believing in your own work and believing that your own stuff is good, but just don't get so egotistical thinking that everybody's going to perceive what you perceive to be good just because you believe that it's good. Like, what's good to you might not be good to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Some people think socialism is good. Some people think communism is good. It damn sure ain't good for a lot of people that are on the opposite side of the belief system spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, anyways, the consumer decides what's good, and the consumer in all circumstances, like, because everybody's a salesman, like, whether you have a product to sell or not, you have a belief system that you wish other people would get on board with. You know what I'm saying? You have ideas, you have certain morals and codes of ethics that you believe that other people should have, and how are you going to sell that to people? You know what I'm saying? Like, most of us, we try to sell by trying to convince someone who's unconvertible. We try to convert the unconvertible people. And let me give you an example of that. I think Minecraft is a piece of shit video game. You can't sell me on the idea that Minecraft is amazing. Like, I don't care if you try to lecture me for 2 hours. I'm never going to see the value in that video game. But I have enough empathy to understand that it's super valuable for the 200 million other people that bought it. But it's cool for me to dislike that game because Minecraft, the creator didn't create that game with me in mind. He created it for people that would like Minecraft, which is not people like me that like the type of shit that I like, which is, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Marvel vs. Capcom, Tekken, Street Fighter, stuff like Mortal Kombat, like those are my type of games. I'm not into like Minecraft, So here's what people like to do as business owners. They like to try to convert the unconvertible. So like if I was talking to the person that created Minecraft before it was created, if he was so damn insecure, as most artists and creators are, like trying to convince me to like something that I'm never going to like, he would have wasted all his time trying to get a sale from me instead of trying to sell his shit to the people that it's actually sellable to, which is the people that already like that genre of video game, puzzles and building and creating, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, so don't get sad. Don't get sad when you have a product or a business idea. You just joined a business. First of all, if you just joined a business, the first thing you might try to do is try to convert your family members and friends. Those are usually the last people that believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Because they believe the only reason you're pitching them a business opportunity is not because it benefits them if they join. It's because it benefits you, because you get a commission off of them joining. You get paid for them joining. So they believe in their head. They're cynical towards your opportunity. No matter how glamorous it is, no matter... you could be giving them an opportunity that could for real make them a millionaire if they joined. They're not going to care to hear that from you because they think that you have selfish ambitions, and that's the only reason you're pitching the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I want to get into the topic of this podcast. So I was just warm up, I guess. But so there's a huge difference between you claiming that entrepreneurship is for everybody, right? Which is a very bold statement. And for you knowing the difference between saying that and then saying entrepreneurship could potentially be for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Huge difference. Like, one, you're imposing on the first sentence, you're imposing your belief system. On the second sentence, you're acknowledging, the laws of probability. Like, you're acknowledging that statistics, you're acknowledging that, because no matter how many people you show one movie to, not everybody's going to like that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's going to be vegan. Not everybody goes to heaven when they die. Not everybody's going to be a kind person. Not everybody's going to be a rude person. Like, everybody falls into statistics, The thing about life, though, is even if you are a statistic, you don't have to continue being one. Like your fate is predetermined by your mindset. And if you change the way you think, you change the way you live. For example, I used to be annoyed by people. I used to think if people changed, I would be better, which means I was positioned for being annoyed all the time, because for as long as people are not changing, I'm annoyed. But you know what changed? My view on people changed. Now I love people. Now I would feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel so much guilt for even trying to classify somebody as in a category of being annoying, because it's like, who am I to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a self-righteous judgment to think that, you know what I'm saying, just because someone's not living up to my expectations on what I think they should be, now they're instantly annoying, like, as if they wake up in the morning for me. Like, I started realizing, people don't wake up in the morning for me. Most men and women wake up in the morning to do what the hell they feel like doing, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? And, most people do. They're walking a million miles away from their potential, But I stopped taking people personally. I started taking my relationship with God personally. That's why people's never going to frustrate me. No woman is ever going to break my heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I said this on yesterday's podcast. It's not because I got a wall of protection around my heart. It's because I developed a belief system, and my belief system keeps me guarded from any potential harm. It's not that I'm always like cautious of people, and somebody might be conniving, or they might try to lie to me, or I'm not cynical at all. It's like I acknowledge that people might lie to me, people might, you know what I'm saying? That's, and I bring up scripture a lot in these podcasts, and there's one that I want to talk about, which is the one where Jesus got betrayed by Judas. And I'm gonna get right back into entrepreneurship. But he knew that he was gonna get betrayed, but yet he still acknowledged him as his brother. He still gave him a kiss. He still greeted him. Still said hello, even though he prayed and he saw in prayer in advance that he was gonna get betrayed by one particular person. And he didn't take that personal. Why? Because he didn't come here to garner loyalty from people. Jesus came here to fulfill his mission before he died. He was a very mission-orientated person. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, he's not excited that he got betrayed. Like, who wakes up in the morning hoping that they get betrayed? But at the same time, like I said, he wasn't here for everybody to respect him, to everybody to like him, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was here to sow seeds, and wherever those seeds get planted, so be it. And whoever throws the seeds away that he planted into them, like, so be it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the numbers are going to fall where they may. The statistics are going to fall where they may. One thing I realized, if I sow a seed of positivity into you, because a lot of people, we try to do this as network marketers, as salesmen, as businessmen, just as people in general, man. We're very, like, into trying to convince people that we're correct. The best way for me to convince you that my business is working is for me to make thousands of dollars per week and just post my results. Like, but other people, they do the opposite. They think that jumping inside of your inbox and saying, hey, would you like to join my business opportunity? Not realizing that other people are going to be like, dude, who the hell are you? Like, I've known you within 2 minutes and you're already trying to pitch me your business opportunity. Like, do I know you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that might irritate some of you, because it's like, yo, do you need to know me to do business with me? And it's like, yeah, like, a lot of people feel like they do have to know you. You know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of times there's, when we go into Walmart, we don't necessarily know the cashier, but yet we don't mind doing business with Walmart. But that's because that's not a one-on-one transaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of scams going on, and, people are cynical towards opportunities and things that are out here. Because they're always looking at the bad side. They're obsessed with the worst case scenario. To give you an idea of how cynical a lot of people are, I remember I was talking to somebody about Uber. I was telling them I know somebody who made like $96,000 in a year doing Uber. And they was like, man, that's a lot of money. I'd love to do Uber, but, and then before they could say what their excuse was, I was like, are you worried about somebody sitting behind you and slicing your throat while you're driving? They actually said, yeah. They was like, yeah, that actually is a concern for me. So you see how humans are obsessed with the worst case scenario? Like, I'm not naive to the fact that, yeah, of course, someone could sit behind you and slit your throat while you're driving. But, yo, the likeliness of that happening to you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is, why is that the worst case scenario, what we're obsessed with? And why is that exactly what we swear is going to happen, Like, as humans, we don't even realize that 96% or higher probably of the shit that we vividly imagine that we swear is a bad thing that's going to end up happening to us never fucking ends up happening at all. You know what I'm saying? And fear is false evidence becoming real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, and I'm not saying be naive to the tragedies that could occur. But what I'm saying is, don't be obsessed with them. If the worst case scenario is not what you want to actually manifest itself in real life for your life, if that's not what you want for yourself, why would you obsess your time, obsess over it and spend all your time contemplating how it's going to happen to you? Because like, I spend zero of my time worrying about all the worst case scenario. Like, I think about them briefly, but it's very brief because I'm obsessed with the outcome that I actually want for my life. You know what I'm saying? So, So some people would argue, yo, like, what do you mean veganism is not for everybody? Yes, it is. Like, it would benefit. And it's like, dude, is veganism for the person that's going to spend their life rejecting it and calling it stupid? Like, cause some of we take it personally, and people be like mockers and laughers and scoffers, and you be like, yo, why are mockers mocking? They shouldn't mock. It's like, what else do you expect from a mocker? Mockers mock, like liars lie, like deceptive people deceive, like. So why would you expect anything less from a mocker other than for them to laugh? Mock, why would you expect anything less from a laugher except for them to laugh at opportunity, things that are going on and things that are possible. Like, some people are just, they're so cynical towards everything, you can't tell them anything. And some people are going to die that way, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not. Some people are currently that way now, but they have a chance of changing because maybe they'll come around to the bright side, or they'll start developing a different mentality where they'll look at the world differently. And the world looks different when you view it from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because when I thought people were annoying, man, that's just, it was, my thought process was limited like to that. It was just, you're annoying because you don't fit my criteria of what I think you should be. And when I removed the self-righteous judgment and started thinking, you know what, people have potential, you know what I'm saying, regardless of whether they realize it or not, or if they're walking a million miles from their potential, they no less have it, you know what I'm saying. And now I no longer, I don't give myself permission to see you for anything less than what you could be if you started walking out in your full potential. And for me personally, according to my own personal belief system, I think Jesus Christ is the best example of what a man could be, of what a woman could look like, character-wise, personality-wise. You know what I mean? So I view people as if they're, personality-wise, as if they're like Jesus, you know, even though they're a million miles from that, you know. And I'm not naive to the fact that they're mediocre now. It's just when you see a man for what he could be, you promote him to what he should be. But when you see somebody for what they are at face value, then you cut them off. You cut them off according to where you're upset with where they currently are. And you only see them for what you're disgusted by. You know what I'm saying? And then you make them worse than what they are by treating them for what they are currently, making them worse constantly, because everything that comes out of your mouth towards them is going to be nothing edifying, nothing encouraging, nothing uplifting. It's just how you're sick of them and how they need to change in order for you to be okay. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's why I talk about this stuff all the time. Like, and you don't, if you think like that, you don't know how much of an emotional liability you are to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You being in a good mood depends on people not being annoying, which means people have to fit the mold of what you think they should be in order for you to be good, which means you'll never be good, because even if the people who are annoying you stop annoying you, all it takes is for some random pedestrian in the street to come around and do the same annoying things to get the same reaction out of you. So you'll never be in control of your mood because other people decide for you how you feel today. You see what I mean? So anyways, so yeah, with the whole entrepreneurship, you know, not everybody's going to be a believer. Yo, hold on, it's mad hot. I got to take this hoodie off. So yeah, not everybody's going to be a believer in entrepreneurship and veganism. And I don't know what your cause is and what you fight for and what you stand for, but whatever it is, someone's on the opposite side of the fence. It almost doesn't matter what you stand for because someone opposes it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course it matters what you stand for, but what I'm saying is someone is on the opposite side. Like if you're a socialist, someone's a communist. If you're a Democrat, someone's a Republican. If you're anti-Trump, someone's on the opposite, someone's anti-Hillary. If you like Obama, someone doesn't. If you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a second. Like whatever you like, someone dislikes. You're a huge fan of taco salad. Someone doesn't care about that so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you love meatball subs. Someone thinks that's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like milkshakes. Someone's like, ew, how could you drink that? Do you know what type of ingredients are in it? Like, so, yo, like, so that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm not, well, what's up, Kelvin? I'm just not convinced that one thing is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with the whole, I mean, some Christians would argue, like, yo, Jesus Christ is for everybody. And I understand exactly what you mean. Like, you're saying that he made the sacrifice for everybody. His blood is for everybody. But sometimes, like, you know, and I'd really like to hear somebody's viewpoint on this. Like, is he for the person that's going to spend their whole entire life rejecting it because they want no parts of Jesus Christ? Like, is it for that person? And some people would say, yeah, well, it's still, Jesus Christ is still for that person. I mean, but it's not Jesus' fault that they spend their time denying him their whole life. But, you know, but the thing is, they have free will. Like, they don't have to have a relationship or a communion or, you know what I'm saying? Like, is going to heaven when we die, is it for the person that wants nothing to do with heaven or doesn't even believe in it? Or is God for every person? Like, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I ask myself these deep ass philosophical questions that I wish I could have a conversation with somebody about and ask you guys, like, yo, what do you think, man? Like, I understand, like, if you tell me, yeah, he is for everybody, but some people are just going to reject him, and that's just the law of averages. I mean, that's the law of statistics, the law of probability. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how many, like, for every 100 people that you show an item to, there might be 87 that thinks that's trash, you know, and 13 of them that think it's awesome, and they convert, and then they become buyers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, it's all about perception, I guess, you know. But sometimes I battle with this because it's like, yo, so how do we know what's true? You know, most humans, we determine what's true by, if millions of people believe this is the way to go, then that must be the way to go. But here's the thing about that. There's millions of people that think being easily offended is fucking normal. And then you become an easily offended person because, well, everyone else justifies being offended. So, and then you normalize that. Then it's normal in your life. And then you're a product of millions of other people's belief system. But what if millions of fucking people got it wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, most people are working class people. Like, what if the entrepreneurship is the way to go, you know? Or what if the entrepreneurs got it wrong, you know? Or like what if you're a Muslim and you're the one that's deceived, and the Christians got it right? Or what if the Christians are deceived and the Muslims got it right? So yo, I'm always so interested to hear what people believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I'm just seeking knowledge for myself personally. Like when you're seeking truth, right? It's what Jordan Peterson said. When you're seeking truth, you acknowledge that what you don't know matters way more to you than what you do know. Because what you do know, you acknowledge that that might not even be the truth. It's just what you come to know so far and what you grow up knowing. But how many times do people peddle to us a belief system that's just not, it doesn't serve you to have it? For example, being easily offended, that doesn't help you to be that way. And when you go to your doctor, they're going to tell you that you have a bipolar syndrome. Here's a pill to help subside your mental illness. You don't have a fucking mental illness. You have expectations. That's why people piss you off, because you expect them to fit the mold of what you think they should be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so anyways, I'm getting off that because this is typically what I talk about on most of my podcasts. This one specifically, I want to talk about just entrepreneurship in general. Anyways, today, I was supposed to work today at 11:30. And I just kept delaying the time that I was supposed to work. I just go on the app because I'm doing DoorDash and stuff, which is food delivery service. And my highest week, I think I made like 550 something in a week. So yeah, like it's awesome that I got tax breaks, and that's, I want to talk about taxes as well too. Like, when you're an independent contractor and stuff, you get to write off taxes and stuff. So, but sometimes I wonder, like, some people are super unorganized and they don't want to keep 1,000 receipts or take photographs of everything, or they don't want to write off mileage, but here's the thing, like, I think most people, we get taxed like 30% or something like that. And then when it's tax season between January and April, I don't know how much they give you back, maybe 12%, and it's almost like slavery or something, man. Like let's give these people $4,000 so they could be excited about being slaves and stuff like that. This is just my perception. I hope nobody gets offended by what I'm saying, but here's the thing though. Like, if you make $100,000 and you're in the 30% tax bracket, they take away 30% of your money, so now you're left with 70,000. Then when it's tax season, right? Since you're not an independent contractor, you don't have a 1099 or a W-2, or what I'm saying, you can't write off stuff. So it's like, you keep 70 grand cash, right? And then when it's tax season, maybe you get, I don't know, somewhere between 5% back, 12%. I don't know the percentages, but I know is for damn sure if they take 30, you're not even getting half of that back. You know what I'm saying? A fraction of that. So, you know what I mean? Like, I was on YouTube today. I saw a video, and in the comment section, it was a guy that he's talking about he made $30,000 in a year doing Uber or Lyft or something like that. He owed $8,000 in taxes. When he finished writing everything off, he actually only owed $1,500, and he got to keep the other. Man, I suck at math. But out of 8,000, instead of paying $8,000 in taxes, he only ended up paying $1,500, $1,400, something like that, because he wrote off the mileage, he wrote off his food, some of his clothes as a business expense. Getting a haircut, you could write that off as a business expense so you could look professional when you're driving people around. There's just so many tax breaks, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that Uber is for everybody or writing off taxes is for everybody. Like, there's things that it would benefit a lot of people if they did it, but it's really up to the individual, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, here's one thing that really keeps me calm, yo. Like, I really respect people's free will. Like, I respect their ability to just walk off into delusion and walk off into darkness and live their life backwards and go the other way. Like, is it a smart decision? Like, yeah, maybe not. And maybe that's a separate conversation. But is it within their ability? Like, since they have free will, is it within their choice to go the other direction? Because, like, usually when we have self-righteous judgment, we're getting mad at people that don't make the life decisions that we would make if we were them, imposing our belief system as if we are them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, be considerate, man. I know that you think being gay is not cool, but obviously the people that are gay think it's super cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not justifying being gay, but what I'm saying is, what you don't agree with, someone fully agrees with, and that's, life is always going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be someone on the other side of the spectrum. And instead of getting mad at people, right, you just got to be empathetic and just understanding and realize that what's somebody else's cup of tea, it doesn't have to be your cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And you don't, like, gay people, like, they don't care that you don't like the fact that they're gay, or they don't care that you believe in God so strongly and, you want to thump them over the head with a Bible and tell them that they're going to hell you think that they care at the moment right now. Like, I'm not saying one day they might care. One day they might convert. One day they might, I don't know, not be gay anymore. They might change their ways. But if you think beating people over their head with your morals, your principles, or your Bible, or, your book knowledge, whatever it is that you have, or your entrepreneur mindset. Like that doesn't, yeah, I see so many entrepreneurs get mad at working class people. Like, man, how come y'all not entrepreneurs? Y'all need to do this, or y'all need to do, and some of the people that are peddling that message, they don't even, they're broke. You know, some people are like, they have no money, but they're telling other people that they should go on these business endeavors and take financial risks, but yet the fruits of they have no fruits of their labor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different thing from telling somebody that you're going to build a tower and then actually building the fucking tower and then telling people, look what I've created. You know what I'm saying? Like, the funny thing about life is no one gives a damn what you're working on. But once you build something massively big, people wonder how the fuck did you build it? You know, that's the interesting thing about life. No one wants to get on board when you're first going on to your business endeavors or when you're setting off into a new adventure. No one gives a damn. Once you come back with some damn treasure, people are like, yo, where'd you get this treasure, man? Like, can I go with you next time you go treasure hunting? Can I? And it's like, nah, man. Like, you know, most people are like, nah, like, you didn't believe in the vision, like, when I presented it to you. Now, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Because most people, they just believe in results. They believe in what they could physically see. It's the reason a lot of people don't believe in God. Because they say, well, if I can't see God, well, I don't see a house floating in the sky and I can't physically have a conversation with him and I know that that's retarded to some of you, because some of you that, you know, you speak to God in the spirit, in your spirit, or in your conscious mind, subconscious mind, or you really feel when he's talking to you. But to some people, that sounds like a lot of hoopla and stuff. And if you feel like they're retarded, here's the thing about your belief system, because once you believe somebody's retarded, it's impossible for you to not treat them as if they are. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm careful with the way I view people. I don't want to view any of you as being retarded, being stupid, or being anything less than what I think you were created for, which was absolute greatness. Like, you was created to be loved. You know what I'm saying? So if I start viewing, like, the metaphors that we use to describe other people, like Hitler, when he got rid of a lot of these Jews, man, you know how he described them as, you know, as roaches and rodents and pests. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you do with rodents and pests? Like, you exterminate them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I always say, yo, for me personally, you know, I have to be careful with the metaphors that I use to describe human beings. Because if I look at you as a roach or a piece of shit or a rodent, I'm never going to speak to you respectfully because of my belief system that I have about you as a human being. Like, if I believe that if dirt is more valuable than you as a person, then you could only imagine how I would treat you, you know, as a result of my belief system towards you. You see what I mean? So it's something very, like, healthy for me personally about just believing that you have value. Otherwise, you wouldn't exist. I don't believe there's anyone in existence that has no value, regardless of what they're doing with their time, or regardless of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, I know a lot of people that, you know, I mean, well, I don't know them personally, but there's people that spend their time murdering and raping and killing and just doing all types of crazy stuff. But those people, they no less have value than the person that's, you know, walking out their full potential. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, yeah, man. The best salesman, the best sales tactic is to not even convince people. You know what I mean? Like, when I see these McDonald's commercials, they're not begging people to buy their burgers. You know what I'm saying? They're just showing up close images of how juicy their burgers is and fries or whatever. And the images makes you want to purchase. Like, that's why a lot of these internet marketers, they show you their lifestyle. Why? Because it's a sales tactic. A lot of the times it makes, they show you the shit that you wish that only money could buy, right? And then you think that they're qualified to teach you how to get money because they have the fancy shit. They have the fancy car, they have the fancy house, and you're like, man, this guy's rich. And then when they start talking about money, you're actually paying attention because they're not just talking about it. They actually have shit to show you. And now some of these people, they don't, you know, some of them don't own everything that they say. Some of them are renting their houses. People are doing all types of crazy shit. Like, they're going to their rich uncle like, yo, can I get $50,000 in cash because I want to make a video and I'll put it right back in your account tomorrow. But, you know, I just want to look the part because people know that you could fake it, quote unquote, fake it until you make it. You know, put on a business suit and then make people, you know, there's people that are hopping fences at the airport to take a selfie in front of a private jet that they don't own, posing as if it's their jet, and then trying to sell a $2,000 mastery course on how to get a private jet type. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do believe, you know what I'm saying? There's also a boatload of people that legitimately have everything that they say they have, and it's theirs. Like, you know what I mean? And the knowledge that they have, it works. You know what I'm saying? It actually got them the results. It actually got them, you know? So yeah, like, it takes a lot of filtering. You know, sometimes you got to study people out, watch a lot of their videos. And I think the truth will always be exposed. You know what I'm saying? I think if somebody's a scam artist, they're going to get exposed. Like, here's how you know you're playing a bad game. when you can't play the game in rapid succession many times over and get away like scot-free without nothing bad happening to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in New York City, there was a game that people play where I think they would like just punch random people in the street, punch random people in the face for no reason, and just start fights and stuff. Like, that's a game that you can't play in rapid succession over and over without getting your life taken eventually. When you punch the wrong person in the face and he shoots you in yours, like, you see what I mean? So like scam artists, the thing about scammers is they have to constantly relocate to new places, because once you build your reputation as being a scammer, and everyone's saying that about you, or there's actual video proof that you scam people. Like, I seen this crazy video the other day where there was like 25 people talking about one guy in particular, how he scammed them. And it's like, yo, there's no, you know what I'm saying? And these are the people that like instant gratification. They just want to get paid today. They don't care that they got to scam you out of $1,000 in order for them to have money. Like, they don't care that you have a family to feed and you really needed that $1,000. And this is why selfishness as a whole, all forms of evil comes from selfishness. It destroys everything. It destroys all the relationships we have. It destroys the businesses we try to form. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we steal money from like one of my favorite rappers, his accountant was stealing money, you know, without telling him. And the rapper, Hobson, he never even asked where the money was going because he trusted him so much. He trusted him with his cash, never asked any questions. Just at the end of the tour, the guy would just give everybody money. And he thought that he was dealing with an honest man. He didn't know that this guy was stealing from him secretly. Like, selfishness is the only thing that would make you rob a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And not be upfront about where the money's going. Selfishness, you know? It's the reason we lie to each other. Selfishness. It's the reason that we verbally abuse people that we think are less than just because they have a different vantage point than we do. Everything, every human being you have ever had a problem with is probably a result of their selfishness towards you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, selfishness is the reason that when you argue with people, sometimes you have 8 seconds to express yourself. And if you don't get a thought out in 8 seconds, there comes their rebuttal. And now you have an anxiety in your heart towards the conversation because you feel like you have to hurry up and get to the point before they cut you off. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when people are selfish, like, they're not even listening to you to understand you. They're listening to you to have a response to what you say next. It's just a battle. You know what I'm saying? And when a conversation becomes a battle, it's draining. It's not even worth having to you anymore, and then you might withdraw from that. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so yeah, man, like, there's so much stuff that's possible, man. There's so many people they're making ridiculous amount of money, quitting their jobs, you know what I'm saying? E-commerce, forex, investing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's good to get educated on things, you know what I'm saying? Instead of coming to the conclusion that something doesn't work according to your subjective point of view, because you have no idea. There's a whole fucking universe that you haven't seen yet, but yet you're gonna judge the world from your limited vantage point and assume that you know what's out in the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you never made it out of your own neighborhood. Like, you've never made it outside the walls of your own neighborhood. You don't know what's on the next neighborhood, like, close to yours. You don't even know what's on the other side of the fence. But yet you think that you know how online businesses work, or how everybody's a scam, or there's no legitimate salesmen. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of salesmen that they don't care about you personally. Like, they don't mind showing up at your door and trying to sell you a $5,000 vacuum cleaner. Like, who the hell needs a $5,000 vacuum cleaner? But they have no, you know what I'm saying? They don't mind selling that to you, right? In order for them to get a commission. Because there's some people that, at the expense of other people, they don't mind getting a $2,000, $3,000 commission, even if you go broke buying a product that has shit value, no value at all. And there's nothing you could do with it. And you can't even, you know, and the product doesn't even work the way that they advertised it to you, you know. But they don't care because they got their cut, you know what I'm saying? So getting back to selfishness, that's the reason why people act like that. Because when you're alive for you, that's all you care about is you know what I'm saying? And one of the most powerful things I ever heard in my life was when I heard this rich man named Grant Cardone say that. He said, you know, poor people are selfish. And it really fucked with me when I heard it, because I was like, yo, like, I've never heard a rich man say that, you know. Usually us poor ass people are calling the rich people selfish, you know what I mean? Then I thought about what he was saying, right? He said poor people are selfish because if you ever ask a man, does he want to make a lot of money? He'll say no. And his reasons as to why he doesn't want to make a lot of money, it's always ego driven, I driven. Like, I only need this much for my student loans. I only need this much for my wife, for my kids, for my car note, for my cell phone bill, for my, You know what I'm saying? To pay rent, I. And he's like, yo, dude, I get that you don't need a lot of money, you know, because maybe you're a minimalist. But what about the people around you that desperately need a lot of money? You know what I'm saying? I mean, before I heard this interview, I already wanted to be a millionaire. But then afterwards, I was like, fuck, I want to, if I'm capable, shit, I'd be a trillionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be selfish and stuff. And what he said next was, it just blew me away. He said, selfish people only care about maintaining their 30 by 30 foot square apartment unit, and that's it. They don't give a fuck about anything outside of that 30 by 30 foot square apartment unit. I'm like, damn, that shit is small. That sounds like a prison cell. You know what I mean? And I heard another video where a guy was like, you know, when you think so small, you know, an 8 by 12 prison cell is all that you need, because the 8 by 12 prison cell, or however big a fucking prison cell is, I have no idea, but 8 by 12 prison cell is perfect for you if that's the expanse, or if that's the you know what I'm saying, if that's the full extent of your thinking pattern. If you don't think beyond 8 to 12, you know what I'm saying, 8 by 12 square foot, you know, holding cell, then why do you need more space than that if that's how limited your thought process is? And he started breaking down criminals and why they steal, and you know what I mean, and homeless people. And you know, he was talking about homeless people that they're he said the richer people are, the more of a long-term plan that they had. He said, when you look at Bill Gates, they had 20-year plans. What do I see myself in 20 years? What do I see myself? You know what I'm saying? He says, like super successful, it goes in increments of how long was their plan? Did they have a 20-year plan? You know, someone with a 20-year plan, they're a lot more likely, and they have it fully written out, it might be a lot more likely to be successful than someone with a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan. And then the levels of success drop down in increments as the long-term plan diminishes, and in terms of like time. You know what I mean? So you go from a 10-year plan to a 5-year plan to a 2-year plan, 1-year plan. You know what I'm saying? Some people plan out quarterly and stuff like that. But he was like, look at the homeless man though. His next plan is to get one meal for the day. His thought process only extends as far as, can I get a meal today? Yes or no? Where am I going to use the bathroom? And can I brush my teeth? You know, and because his thought process is so limited and he could only think in terms of the end of today, then he's only living for today, and he's only trying to acquire the means that he needs for today. But the reason Bill Gates and all these, you know, Steve Jobs and all these people had so much damn money, not only did they, you know, create products that the marketplace really needed, they had 20-year fucking plans. You know what I mean? They had visions that were so long term that it's ridiculous. And now their bank account is just as ridiculous as their thought process was. You know what I'm saying? And their 20-year plans, 30-year plans. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting, you know. And I think the video that I watched when I saw that was Dan Lok. Dan Lok is this Asian dude. He gets chauffeured around in his BMW, not a BMW. I don't know, it's like a Maybach or something, some fancy ass expensive car. Asian dude. He's like, yo, I know you hate ads, but you're like, oh, here's this fucking guy trying to sell me his product. But he was like, yo, I'm not here to sell you anything. And he reminds me a lot of Ty Lopez, like an Asian version of Ty Lopez, sort of. But yeah, man, I watch these gurus and whatever. Like, they have a lot of knowledge, man. A lot of the stuff they say, it makes so much sense. You know what I mean? And when I listen to them, it's never with a biased point of view. It's never like, oh, fuck these guys. They have so much money. Like, what do they know about my struggle? Or what do they know about, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes us poor people, we get mad at rich people. We think that they need to give us their money. You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, if you was rich, you'd be damned if you had a bunch of poor people crowd around you talking about they're entitled to your money because they have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, which one is better? Is it better for someone to give you $10,000 right now, or for someone to teach you how to make $10,000 a month? Like, I'll take the second option, yo. Teach me how to make $10,000 a month, because if you give me $10,000, as soon as it depletes, how am I gonna, you know what I'm saying? How am I gonna get more of that money? You know what I'm saying? Then it's back to slow money. Then it's back to the 9 to 5 grind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to have that grind. Like, even today, like, I was supposed to work at 11:30, pushed it back to like 12:30, and then 1:30, and then 3, and then 3:30 p.m. And that's the privileges that I have, like, you know, just as an independent contractor, man. It's just, it feels so good that I could just cut the app off and take a piss whenever I want to. You know, I don't have to fucking ask my boss, can I piss, you know? And there's a lot of members of society that would try to take a shit on me because I'm 29 right now. I just recently got a job. Like, all right, so my birthday was February 24th. I started working March 2nd. First job I ever had in my life, and I'm 29 years old. You know how many people would have an opinion about that? You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that I don't give a fuck. what someone would have to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, it's not like they're on the same journey with me, you know? So anybody who criticized my path, it's not like we're co-laboring together. You know what I mean? They might be like, Rob, what do you mean co-laboring? Like, you're 29 and you lived at your mom's house and you only had a job since now? Like, you know, everyone puts having a job on a pedestal, and I get that we all need money, but fuck, man, what about purpose? What about, like, what the hell am I alive for? Like, I was created to do something, man. Like, I don't think I'm here to pay bills and then die. That's it. Like, pay bills, have a family, some kids, couple good memories, and then die. Like, what? Like, it has to be some meaning to life, some like a bigger reason for me, you know. And getting back to what I said about having empathy for people, like, not everybody's gonna think big like that. Some people only care about their pension plan, or when are they gonna retire, or when are they gonna, you know. And a lot of humans are like, you know, it's crazy, man. When we're in second grade and third grade and fourth grade, we're like, yo, when it's summertime, then I'll be happy. And then every year we wait for summertime, right? And then it's like, yo, when I'm 18, then I could work, I'll be happy, you know. And then you start saying, yo, when I move out of my parents' house, I'll be happy. Then you move out your parents' house. Then you're like, yo, when I get married, I'll be happy. Then you get married, you're still not happy. Then you're like, yo, when I have kids, I'll be happy. You have kids, you're still fucking frustrated. Then it's like, yo, and then it's always the next thing, I'll be happy when I have. It's like, why can't we be happy now? You know, why can't we have, because we don't have gratitude. And we don't have gratitude because we spend 90% of our time complaining about how much we hate life and how people are stupid on social media. You know what I'm saying? And people are so mad at social, don't you know social media is only a reflection of what people are thinking? Like, it's impossible for somebody to post something unless they first thought it, you know, or they heard it from somewhere else and they're reposting what someone else had to think. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, what comes out of somebody's mouth is only a reflection of what they think. And don't you know that even if you get pissed off at social media and delete it because you can't tolerate it anymore, when you sign off of Facebook, the same people that had idiotic points of views, you still have to deal with them in real life. And if you only know how to view them as being annoying, then they're always going to push your buttons because you have so many buttons to push. You know, some of us have 2,000 buttons, 3,000 buttons that we're just hoping that people don't press them, and always at the mercy of other people, man. And it's just, you know, so I'll talk about that primarily a lot on these podcasts because I'm not a fan of having other people control my blood pressure. I'm not a, you know, I'm done living like that, you know. I'm done being sad because of what another human being did to me and playing a victim role. Like, fuck that. Like, you know, so I'm celebrating like freedom and victory with a new perspective that I have that just allows me to, a lot of it is based on the Bible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my concepts, principles, belief systems is based on an idea when Jesus said, yo, if any man come to me, let him first deny himself. You know, and this is one guy that I studied a lot. If you get any value from my podcast, please check this guy out. It would mean a lot to me, man. Because I know what it'll do for you as a person if you ever consume this content. It did so much for me. Like, this guy's name is Dan Mohler, DanMohler. You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm wise or if you think I have wisdom, yo, go listen to that dude, man. He's one of the most happiest dudes I ever. I can't imagine him having a problem with another human being, even if other human beings try to get on his nerves, because he's just so calm in nature that he could just overcome everything with good, like with positivity, with love. Like this dude, he taught me a lot about character. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things that I wish I learned growing up that my parents they didn't have it within themselves to teach to me. So I can't take it personally that it was just certain things that they didn't understand, you know? And there's so many people that desperately want to have kids, you know? Just, so I'm all over the place with this topic, but one of my biggest fears is, you know, was like being a piece of shit person and then having kids. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm doing is manifesting that piece of shit nature that I had within myself, passing that along to my kids. And it's like, yo, I'm obsessed with trying to become the best version of me so that when I have kids, I actually fucking have something to offer them, you know? Everyone wants to be financially straight for when they have kids. Like, what about being emotionally straight? Mentally imagine giving your kid mental fortitude. That's the greatest blessing you could give your damn kid, man. Like, more than people are like, oh, I want to be financially straight so that when it's Christmas time, I don't want to see the sad look on my face of my kid when they want a toy that I can't afford to purchase. And it's like, don't you know that giving them mental fortitude, it'll set them up to not have depression when they're 17 years old and a girl breaks their heart, because they won't even know how to get heartbroken because you had so much mental fortitude and strength within yourself that it just spilled over onto your kids. And now they're so emotionally strong that they don't know how to be offended. They don't know how to have broken heart, hurt feelings about what people said or somebody Facebook blog post this. And bruh, like, it's such a good feeling when you don't take people's actions personally. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't misinterpret as if they're alive to please you or meet your expectations. I really believe that's one of the greatest gifts that anybody could give to their children is mental fortitude, how to handle depression, how to not take people personally, how to not be offended, how to have somebody take a shit on your views and your personal belief system and not get mad that they just did that. Because recently I had somebody said, man, fuck God. Jesus could suck my left nut and God the Father could suck my right one. I'm not offended that he said that. I know exactly why he said that, because he's offended by either religion or religious people, or he feels like, yo, where was God when I got raped, or when my mom overdosed, or when my father killed himself, and when my brother did this, and where was God when I was sad? And you know what I'm saying? Everybody's asking where was God, and they're offended by God, right? And if you're offended by something, you start saying, man, and then you start saying that, man, fuck this God that everybody believes in, because you feel like in order for God to be real, he has to pass through your permission of, if God was real, then he would meet this qualification and that qualification and that. And then you create your own God according to your own filter. And you say, if there's no God that matches my filtering, then there is no God. You know what I mean? As if God himself has to submit himself to you. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why people believe that. And I don't think they're stupid. I don't think they're, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they're retarded, I just feel like that's where they're at right now, and it doesn't even mean that that's where they're always going to be. It might be a temporary thing, Of course, yeah, some people are going to die as unbelievers. Some are not, but we never know who those people are. So when you sow seeds of positivity, whatever your message is, and when you have no expectations on people listening to you, man, you don't know what type of burden you release from people's shoulders when they know that they could come to you and you're not going to be mad and take their actions personally. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second. Anyways, I'm back. Sorry about the delay. I was scheduled to work in 2 minutes. I pushed it back another 30 minutes, and it's like, anyways, it feels good that I could do that, man. So I don't know. So getting back to, on topic, I apologize that I go off topic a lot. I don't know, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes intentionally. It's just, I never know who's listening, and I don't know what type of content you guys need to consume. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of content is going to make whose life better. So as much sometimes I try to restrict myself to talking about one thing on a certain podcast, I go all over the place, because I'm just assuming that if I have an assault rifle and I just shoot a bunch of rounds, something's going to hit somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's depression, and that was the message that you need to hear, whether it was about finances, or whether it was about emotional stability, not being offended, how to love people, how to have forgiveness. So that's why I'm all over the place, just praying to God that while I'm letting off all these rounds, something is hitting somebody at the appropriate time, and hopefully it's just exactly what they needed to hear, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all different, and we're all in different places, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You know what I mean? So anyways, yeah, man. So, I saw a video. I want to tell you about a video I saw the other day. A guy was like, I am the 1%. Let's talk. And he was like, yo, there's a lot of people just mad at this dude, feel like they're entitled to his money. And he's like, why should you get my money? You didn't work for it, And there's a concept, I don't know, I think it's socialism, where it's the idea that, rich people should just give money to the poor, because poor people are handicapped, or no, not handicapped, but just because they're not, I guess, eligible to get to the top, which is a lie, because even if you're not a salesman, and to be honest, I think the highest paying position in the world is being a salesman. You know what I'm saying? When you fill out a job application, you're pitching yourself to, you're being a salesman for that one moment. When you get a job interview, you're pitching yourself. They start asking you, why are you qualified for this position? And you start saying man, cliche shit man, some people tell me that I work too hard, or I work too much. I'm always on time. I'm always, you know what I'm saying? It's like a sales presentation. You're selling yourself at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So, man, everybody's gonna sell themselves for a certain amount. Some people sell themselves. So, there's a concept like a lot of famous people selling their soul to the devil for money or whatever. But if you think that you have to be a celebrity to sell your soul, man, some people sell their soul to the devil for $5 million. And then some people sell their soul to the devil for $11 an hour, at Walmart. And they don't it's the unconscious. One is conscious and one is unconscious. If you sign a contract in blood, obviously that's a conscious, demonic, soul transaction. But, it's unconscious when you forfeit your destiny at the cost of yourself, and you have no idea that you're doing that, because while you're signing up for $11 an hour, and then you get another job for $17 an hour, you know, but you don't know that you were capable of making $22,000 a day, or some ridiculous number like that, or $22,000 every, you know what I'm saying, every 3 weeks. You know, it's like, yo, like, and so when you tell yourself what's possible for you, you're actually limiting yourself by saying that to yourself. You know, if you keep telling yourself you're always going to be an anxiety driven person, then your words become flesh, and you become a product of that, because you keep telling yourself that's what you have to be. If you think you're always going to be living in poverty, so yo, you got to be careful what thoughts you put into your head, or what thoughts you accept as normal. You know, and the quickest way to change your mindset is to change your circle. Like, hang around people, and if you can't, you know, if for whatever reason you're stuck with the broke-minded people that you hang around with, there's so many mentors on YouTube. If only you get curious as to asking the right questions in regards to your life and the things that you want, you know, whether it's financial freedom, emotional freedom, which emotional freedom, I put that on a higher pedestal above financial freedom. You know, they say money doesn't bring you happiness. You know, to that, I say poverty doesn't fucking bring you happiness. But I tell you what will bring everybody happiness. Everybody. A fucking healthy mindset. Not getting easily offended. Loving your neighbor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when you're alive for things to happen your way, you're positioned for a lot of things to not happen your way, and for you to have an emotional outburst because of it, and then blame circumstance as to why you feel the way you do, and then just be a victim, and then bottom of the victim pile your whole life. You know what I'm saying? But when you count it all joy, like there's a verse in James, it says, count it all joy, my brothers, when you're met with trials of different variations, for you know that the trials produce patience, and patience produce steadfastness, and you'll be perfected in love, lacking nothing. So it literally means get excited when life gets problematic, because the problems are shaping you into the person you were created to be. You know what I'm saying? And if you start taking the problems personally, then you're missing the point of why you have the problems. You know, this is going to sound weird what I'm about to say, but I think I'd rather live with 10 roommates that I hate than 10 roommates that I like. If I like you, it's easy to get along with you. But if there's something about you that rubs me the wrong way and I hate being around you, I like that because it's a challenge. You know, it's an opportunity for me to view you the way that Jesus would, you know, because like, I don't think Jesus is in heaven complaining about man, or saying, man, I really like Suzanne and I like Billy, but I don't know about Frank, man. Like, I don't know if I should give him grace today, man. Like, I don't know. He kind of annoys me. He gets on my nerves. Like, you know, the way he talks, like, why does he say curse? Why does he swear so much? Like, he should really stop doing that. Like, you know, I don't know if I feel like, you know, can you imagine if God was offended, man? If God was offended, the sun would come up for people he personally likes, and that's it. Like, that shit'd be scary, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Like, I'm a simple guy, man. It's amazing if I open a Bible, regardless of how many times I messed up today, my Bible still has the same words in it. And the same words that were available to me yesterday, it's available today and even tomorrow, for as long as I'm alive. That's amazing. You know how many people, as soon as we get pissed off by them, they get cut off? Like, you know, like our grace is not available to them anymore because they bother us. Our mercy is not available to them. So that's why it just blows my mind every time I open up the Bible. The same words, the same grace, the same forgiveness is available to me. You know, if God was offended, then there would be a day where I open up my Bible and it just doesn't read the same text for me as it does for you. Because why? Because I'm fucking up all the time and you're not. So grace is available to you, but not to me, because I'm on God's bad side and I'm driving him up a wall and I'm annoying him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm telling you, man, like, there's a lot of things that I just don't believe God has, you know, that we have, that we normalize. We say, well, God gave us emotions, and it's like a lot of emotions that we have came straight from hell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, like being so easily triggered and angered, and it's crazy, man. You know, like I think about that one story where the guy, he wanted to bake a cake. He wanted to have two gay dudes kissing on it. You know, it was a gay wedding or whatever. The dude refused to make the cake for religious purposes, and the gay people sued him, and they actually won the case. And it's like, why can't you take your ass elsewhere and go get someone else to bake a cake for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we get so offended that someone won't bake us a cake? Here's the reason: selfishness. Because we're alive for circumstance to go the way that we think that they should. And if not, I'm calling a fucking lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like getting back to what I said earlier, every problem that you could think about this world having, it stems from selfishness. And we was not created to be selfish. I know a lot of these world's problems, we blame it on God. You know what I'm saying? But his creations are choosing to walk a million miles away from him. And because of that, the place that their mentality goes and where their hearts lead them, it leads them to some ungodly places. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yo, some of us get mad at government policies and, stipulations and, government this and President Trump that. And it's like, yo, this is a broken world though. It wasn't created to be broken, but it's a lot of broken people. And from broken people, what do you expect? Like a fixed policy? Nah, man. You got a broken person, you're gonna get some broken policies from the broken people. You're gonna get some broken moralistic principles. You're gonna get some broken like doctrines or some broken philosophies from broken people, man. This, you know what I'm saying? Like people be like, man, like there's no good people on this planet. And it's like, yo, you have kids, don't you? You believe they're good people? Does that apply to everyone? So I don't know. Anyways, yeah, man. So yeah, like I've always been intrigued by entrepreneurship. I've always been intrigued by these people that make so much damn money online. And I've always been curious as to what the hell are they doing. More curious than I was critical. Because when you're critical, you learn nothing. And you put a cap on what you're able to learn. Because everything has to pass through your understanding in order for it to be real to you, And about that, I want to give you an example. Some people be like, well, I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the devil. And it's like, cool. Like, do you think that these things need your permission in order to exist? Because you think just because you don't believe in it, it goes away. There's certain things that are real with or without your acceptance, with or without your permission. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you think God needs your permission in order to exist, or the devil needs your permission in order to exist, or the afterlife, heaven and hell needs your permission, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, people be like, oh, well, it's not real to me. You know what I'm saying? And I get that, some people are going to die believing that. And it's, what can we do about that? You know what I'm saying? We can't, if you're a Christian, your job is not to try to convert somebody, your job is to just give the message, and whoever converts, so be it. Whoever doesn't convert, so be it. And just pray, the same thing as a salesman. Like, your job is not to try to convert the unconvertible, try to sell the unsellable, like there's a lot of similarities between religion and being a salesman, There's a lot of similar tactics that they use. Like, the same things that piss you off about a salesman is probably the same things that piss you off about a religious person, because they go about things the same way. A salesman, they walk up to your door trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner, and you're like, yo, I'm good. I already got my own vacuum cleaner. They're like, nah, but you don't got this vacuum cleaner. Like, you need this one specifically. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and imagine they try to force entry into your house. You're like, bruh, like, did I not tell you I don't want a fucking vacuum? Like, I'm good. Like, you're trying to walk into my house, dude, I'll call the cops on you. Or even better yet, I'll shoot you. You take another step. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing about God, man. I believe that he's not an unwanted guest. He's not an uninvited guest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to invite him in, There's so many people that uninvited, they just invite themselves. You invite yourself to try to sell somebody your doctrine, your belief system, your product, whatever you're marketing, and you try to make it like, oh, it's so amazing. Like, yeah, according to you. And maybe it is amazing. Maybe you have an amazing product. But if you think that everybody you tell that to is just automatically going to believe you, then you're deceived. You know what I'm saying? If you think that everybody's just going to convert. And this is why everybody gets into entrepreneurship and they have such broken hearts, because they try to convert. They spend so much time, 8 hours going back and forth on messages with people that have zero interest in actually buying your product, but yet they have 1,000 questions as to how it operates. And they're not going to buy. You know what's crazy? Some of the most uninterested people in your product are going to ask you the most amount of questions. You know what I mean? Some people, from my personal experience, these entrepreneurial like websites, make money online and stuff like that. Sometimes I could tell right away, based on someone's character, if they're going to buy or not, or blah, 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 or if they're going to just waste a lot of my time, And when I'm in sales mode, it's like, yo, here's my website. I take them to my website, and then they start asking mad other questions. And it's like, look, if you're too Hollywood to like enter your email and then get past the first capture page and then watch a video and then consume the content, because like a website, if I have a website already made, it's going to answer, 95% of the questions that we already know you're going to have. Now, if you're too Hollywood to go look at those questions, then you don't care about joining this business. Some people will take that personally. Like, they want to spend quality time with you, but yet purchase nothing. And you as a salesman, like, and it's not that you don't give a damn about that one person, but sometimes you have so many people that you're trying to get to. Like, I know this one guy, he gets at least 200 messages per day. I can't imagine having to respond to all that shit, but that's just how popular he's gotten and how successful he's gotten. So you got to understand, when it comes to that man's time, He doesn't have time to spend 8 hours going back and forth on text messages with a bunch of uninterested people that are not qualified to purchase his leads. And, to purchase his product. And, that might sound prideful to say you're not qualified to do business with me. But, man, we have to discriminate. We have to discriminate. Like, some of you think discriminating is racist, but all of you discriminate. You know what I mean? I mean, in order for you to have a top 10 favorite list of rappers, that means there's a bunch of rappers you're discriminating against in terms of them not being on your list. Like, it doesn't mean you're unfairly discriminating. It just means, like maybe 50 Cent is not good enough to be on your top 10. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there's a bunch of rappers you discriminated against in order to form a hierarchy of favorite rappers. In order for you to have your top 10 favorite cars or your top 10 favorite video games, there's a laundry list of other shit like that didn't make the cut that you discriminated against. I mean, the wife that you married, the husband that you have, like, you know what I'm saying? We're very discriminatory in many ways. Like, when you're shopping for something specific, you narrow it down. Like, all right, so imagine you pull up restaurants that you want to go to, right? You type in restaurants on GPS, 45 places pop up. Now you put in, all right, restaurants within a 5-mile radius. So now you're being discriminatory towards anything within a 6-mile radius, right? And it's probably a weird way for you guys to hear the word discriminatory because we instantly think racism. But all right, so now instead of 45 restaurants, maybe there's 17 because you put a filter on within a 5-mile radius. Now you want them to be sushi restaurants specifically. Now there's only 10 of them. Now they have to have good Yelp reviews, and now there's only 5 of them, Because if you wasn't discriminatory, like if you're in California and you're like, what restaurant do I go to? And you got 150 to look to, that might be overbearing to you. There's too many options, you know what I mean, for you. So in order for you to make your life simple, you discriminate the shit out of a lot of things that are on the list, you know what I mean? And that's just, so yeah, man, we do that with dating. We do that a lot with dating. Like, most people, you don't want to date someone fat, lazy, and unsuccessful, And sometimes people get mad when they be like, oh, like I saw this one video today where a guy was talking about only 1/3 of Puerto Rico has jobs or something like that. 1/3 of the people that could be working are working. And he was saying that because of that, like, women are very impressed with a guy with a job there. And some people, they took offense to this white guy they feel like, oh, you're talking bad about Puerto Rican women. You're calling them gold diggers. And it's like, it was a Joe Rogan show. I'm gonna try to post a clip. Hopefully I remember. But the guy was like, yo, what woman gets excited to say, yo, I want a man with no damn job. Oh, I want a man that doesn't have no money, or like, who looks for that? Like, who consciously looks for that, I mean, yeah, of course, love could happen at any moment. And you might find somebody in their current form that they're just unsuccessful at the moment, and you fall in love with them anyways. But, I mean, still, like, we would hope that somebody's working towards something, or they're passionate, or they're at least have inspirations, or they have, you know what I'm saying? Like, so other people because some people are just so quick to take offense to everything that they don't care to understand the content, or like, the tonality in which something was said, because they just assume that they know what somebody meant, and which is one of the biggest mistakes we make in communication, is assuming that we know exactly what somebody is saying when they're the ones that's saying it, not us. You know what I'm saying? All we're doing is interpreting. And, sometimes we swear that our interpretation perfectly matches exactly what someone else is trying to say to us, but it's like not necessarily, like, and that's why we assume so much. We just swear that we know what somebody means, or somebody was intentionally trying to be offensive, or, So, and that's the thing about assuming that something's real. It'll become real to you. I want to talk about that too, right? So this whole entrepreneur stuff, people making $5,000 a week from their cell phone. As soon as you tell yourself that that's a load of shit, then guess what? To you, that's a load of shit. That becomes your reality according to your subjective point of view. And it'll never be real for someone like you, because you're going to spend your whole time being cynical towards something that you wish to God was possible, right? So for me personally, when I first started caring about entrepreneurship, it was like 2014. It was a guy, I forgot his name. It's part of a company named Wake Up Now. I remember his success story. It threw me off. He was like, damn, my phone is like 64%. He was like, yo, I'm 21 or I'm 22 years old and I'm retired. I've never heard anybody formulate a sentence with those words in that specific order. I was like, 22 and retired. I was like, interesting. I didn't say that's a bag of shit. I didn't say like there's no way that's possible. I didn't get cynical at all. The first thing I said, I think I said something along the lines in my head like, I hope this guy is telling the truth because I need that to be possible so that one day it could be my reality. Like, that's all I said. I had something along that type of thought process. I was like, I want that to be real for me because if this motherfucker's 21 and retired, shit, maybe I could be 26 and retired. And he was talking about he's making $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month. And it just opened the door to another, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I talk to people about money, you'll never catch me telling somebody you need to get a job. That will never come out of my mouth. What I will say is you need a source of income, because telling someone to get a job is so limited. Like, the only thought process behind that is, okay, I need to go work for another man. But what if I tell you that you need a source of income? You know what I'm saying? Then it might open up other doors in the realm of possibility for you. You might considering starting your own business or looking into businesses that are already established that you could become a part of, you know what I mean? Or affiliate marketing. Or the reason affiliate marketing is so popular is because for people that are uncreative, or they just don't know how to create their own business, they just join something that's already working and they sell their products. They sell the products as if it's their own, and they make money that way. And that's why it's so popular, because there's some people that they're not creators when it comes to concepts and ideas, but they're good at running businesses that already exist. You know what I mean? So give me a second. Yeah, so like, yeah, man, I got about 12 minutes before I gotta go. Yeah, so yeah, I said a lot, man. I don't know. I don't even know if I have much more to say. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I could make it go another 12 minutes before I have to really go. But yeah, man, like you probably have no idea what's possible. If you spend your time saying what's not possible, then all you're doing is making those things not possible for you, because you're cynical. When you're cynical, you have high levels of cynicism. Nothing good is fucking available to people like you. Nothing. Everything is restricted from you, because if you don't have faith is a huge pillar in a lot of success, man. A lot of these people, they visualize it. They have vision boards. And then they make that shit manifest itself in real life. That's so powerful that something could come from an imagination to now it being a real thing. And there's so many things, technologies that we use, that it came from somebody's fucking imagination, yo. Like, before cars, someone imagined that shit, You're gonna get a vehicle, close the door, and fucking... I mean, it seems so simple to us now, but airplanes, yo, someone imagined that. Like, there was a time when there was no airplanes. There was no electricity. Like, all this shit exists because one man demanded that it does. One man said, I demand that the shit that I imagine exists. And poof, it fucking did. Because he did a lot of research. He did a lot of... You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the light bulb had like 1,000 prototypes. He failed a lot, So I think the guy, Thomas Edison, he said something like, I've learned 1,000 ways on how to not make a light bulb, or something like that. He was still optimistic about it, regardless of how many failed attempts, he still made it work, And can you imagine if we was lighting candles now? Shit, man. Like, I can't imagine life without electricity. But yeah, like, electricity was like, like some human was like, how am I going to manifest electricity in my own house so I don't have to light candles anymore? Like, people, they thought of that shit. They imagined it, and now it's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. So the whole entrepreneurship, the reason people are so cynical towards it, I mean, one, people care about other people's opinions. There's so many people that want to start businesses, but they're so scared of what their aunt is going to say about it, or their cousin, or their pessimistic friends, that they never start the business because they don't want to hear other people's mouth, because they don't know how to deal with other people's opinions. So there's a handful of people that are like that. Some people are just straight up scared. They're like, yo, what if I fail? And it's like, yo, the biggest failure is not even trying. The biggest failure is contemplating failure all day, to the point that you get so much fear in your heart that you just don't try anything. That's fucking failing. I don't think you fail when you fail. I think you fail when you quit. Failure is proof that you're fucking trying. You know what I'm saying? Like not getting any results in either direction, that's proof that you're just not doing anything. It's good to fail. It's good to get on stage and forget all your damn lyrics. At least you tried. You tried to give a performance. Like, if you fear getting on stage all the time, you'll never get on stage, and then you'll never do what it takes for you to be a successful celebrity, artist, or whatever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be, you might choke on stage 12 times, 13 times. But you're not a failure until you contemplate choking all those, and you repeat that over and over in your head, and then you get the anxiety as if it's really happening. So it might as well really be happening because you feel the emotions of it happening. You know what I'm saying? And then you never get on stage because you think that how you imagine it is exactly how it's going to happen. That's a fucking failure. Someone that doesn't make a move because they're so obsessed with being scared of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like one time I failed my driver's license test, and my stepdad got so mad because he feel like, oh, I failed. Like, bro, I didn't fail unless I quit. If I said fuck getting my license, then I'm not getting this. Then you know, you count that a huge L. But the fact that I'm trying is the fact that I'm doing is proof that I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and the crazy thing about the license thing, I got my fucking license 10 days later. You know, so it's like, you know, does it matter that I didn't, you know, I didn't have something one day and then 10 days later I got it. So, and here's the thing, like, this is why I don't dwell on my losses. I don't dwell on my losses because I know I got other people to dwell on my losses for me. You know how many people try to shit on me because I'm 29 and I just now got a job March 2nd? But I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Because just because it's halftime and I'm losing by 45 points doesn't mean I can't win the game by fucking 30 when the game is over. I really believe that shit. Because I believe that, my belief system keeps me fucking, it just keeps me guarded, you know what I'm saying? The shit that I believe, you know, because some people, they're only doing as good as other people believe in them, which means you need your dad and your mom to fucking co-sign your dream, because if they're not, you have nothing within yourself to believe in you, you know? So it's like, yo, as soon as nobody believes in you, what, you don't believe in you anymore? Like, you believing in you is so dependent on other people agreeing with your belief system and your own dreams, and it's like, why? The only person you need to believe in you is you, you know? For real. Because when you believe, like for real, nothing could stop you. When you believe, it doesn't matter if the whole world disbelieves, because the only co-signature you need is your own when it comes to you moving forward with your own belief system, your dreams, and the shit that you believe is possible for you. So many people waiting for a cosign from somebody, as if when they get it, that enables them to continue moving forward. Your biggest enabler is you. You know what I'm saying? The biggest problem that you have in life is you. The biggest problem that you ever had in your life, the biggest stumbling block you have is yourself. We think that the other people is our problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some religious people, they get so offended by curse words that it's almost like their ears start bleeding when they hear them or something. They think the problem is that other people curse. But I promise you, God is not offended by, you know, curse words. Like, you know, like when people lay hands on a sick and then the sick recover. Let's say you lay hands on somebody who's blind and deaf, right? And then they recover. They start hearing, they start seeing. I don't think that as soon as, like, you know, let's say that they're blind. All of a sudden now they could see. Like, let's say they say, yo, what the fuck? Like, do you think that God's going to be like, oh, you cursed, I'm going to take back the blessing that I just gave you because I don't like your foul language, so I'm going to give you your blindness right back? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, God is not offended by that. Like, he's not shocked, like, that people are going to curse after they get healed because they're blown away by what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's excited to heal people. He's excited to show people that he still loves them regardless of how many times they messed up, you know? And he's not going to get, like, curse words get in the way, and him being offended getting in the way of him loving them. You know what I'm saying? Because love covers a multitude of sin, a multitude of offenses, you know? So anyways, so yeah, man, there's a lot that's possible, man. You just got to get curious, become more curious than you are critical. It's the only way that you're learning something. Being prideful is the biggest stumbling block when it comes to growing as a person. You know, growing up, my stepdad used to always try to encourage me to have pride, as if pride is a good use of my time to have. You know, but it's a limitation towards personal growth. And if personal growth is the biggest thing that I care about, then pride should be the last thing that I hold on a pedestal, because it's in direct conflict with me growing as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine if someone gives me life-changing advice and I'm too prideful to receive it? You know, and then we put pride on a pedestal as if it's such a good thing. And it's like, nah, man, it stops me from growing. It stops me from learning. It stops me from being curious. It makes me think that I know everything. It makes me think that I have, when I unrighteously judge people, self-righteously judge people, it makes me think that I'm qualified to pass that type of judgment on people. Like, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm going in the dirt just like you're going in the dirt, you know? And it's like, I don't even have time to complain about the life that you live, because I'm too busy trying to make the life that I want for myself. And plus, I just acknowledge that Some people are just always going to be what they are. Some poverty-stricken people are always going to be poverty-stricken. Some people are never going to be entrepreneurs. Some people are never going to be kind. Some people are never going to learn. Some people are never, and I've just accepted the statistics, you know? The thing about life, I don't know who those statistics are. So I'll never treat somebody as if you're never going to be anything, you know? I always hope for the best. Love believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So for as long as I'm alive, regardless of how mediocre somebody is, I'm never going to stop believing that one day they could snap and it's change just like that and become a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? And actually start walking out their potential. Give me a second. So yeah, man. I hope that I hope if curse words do offend you, pray for me on that one. I know one day there'll be a day when I don't curse at all. And I can't wait for that day. So I apologize. Hope that doesn't offend anyone. But anyways, I do these podcasts because I just really believe I have something meaningful to say. I believe I have something that might change someone's life, you know. But I'm not so naive to think that it's going to change the life of everybody that listens to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like even Gary Vee says it. He says, yo, the reason I give all my content for free, because people get mad at Gary Vee. They're like, yo, you have content that you could charge you could do a $5,000 mastery course and so many people would buy it. And he says, when there's a message that you want to get out to as many people as you can before you die, it's not about money. It's about getting the message out. And the only way to reach the highest amount of people is to not charge anything for your message, because then putting a monetary, like putting a price tag on your message, it makes a limitation between how many people you're going to reach, because some people just won't buy your product, which is a message, and then they won't receive it because it has a price tag. So he was like, it depends on what you're optimizing for. He said, if I was in it for the money, I would put a price tag on my knowledge, but he was like, I give my knowledge for free because 99% of you are not going to do shit with it anyways. And I'll laugh every time he says that, because it's just so true, man. The statistics never change. The faces always do, You might be like, why do I show my business opportunity to 100 people and only 6 people join? Those are the statistics. Get to learn what the statistics are and realize that they're probably not going to change too much from those numbers. The faces are always going to change, but the statistics don't, Like not everybody's trying to get into business with you, and some people are always going to think something is a scam, and that's just the way that the numbers work, So anyways, man, I said a lot. I got off topic a lot, but either way, I hope that I said something that was worth your time listening to. And yeah, man, I'll see you on the next podcast. Take care.